Captain Marvel is coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is an extremely exciting prospect, and she'll make her first appearance in her 2019 solo movie. Her first movie will be set in the past, however, and this video is more about what will happen with the character going forward.
Her name's Carol Danvers.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's the best way to keep up to date with all of Screen Rant's great new videos.
What are you talking about? My performance.
She'll kill Thanos. Given what happened in the post-credit scene of this year's epic Avengers Infinity War, countless fans are theorizing it will be Captain Marvel who saves the day and kills Thanos off in next year's sequel. The scene in question showed Nick Fury and Maria Hill driving through busy city streets when the Mad Titan's finger snap started to take effect on the world. People disintegrated, cars and helicopters began crashing, and both Fury and Hill themselves became victims of the prune-chinned warlord's act of wiping out half of all life in the universe. But Fury managed to quickly use a modified pager to contact Captain Marvel, which was confirmed when her insignia appeared on the pager's display. Given how powerful we've been led to believe she is, there's every chance she could be the one who lands the decisive killing blow on the villain. Thor came close to killing Thanos with Stormbreaker in Infinity War, and Captain Marvel is said to be more powerful than even the God of Thunder. So if Thor was capable of landing a near-fatal blow on him, the woman otherwise known as Carol Danvers should certainly be up to the task of finishing him off.
If you two are finished comparing sizes...
The Quantum Realm. There's a very prominent theory that Captain Marvel will, in some way, be connected to the Quantum Realm. The Quantum Realm is the dimension we were first introduced to in 2015's Ant-Man, before briefly revisiting it in 2016's Doctor Strange. We will be reintroduced to it in this year's highly anticipated Ant-Man and the Wasp.
What'd I miss? We were just tiny!
The fact that it will have appeared so many times before Avengers 4 would suggest it's extremely important, and given that Captain Marvel is set to play an extremely prominent role in Avengers 4, the theory makes a lot of sense. How exactly she'll be connected to it or what it will mean for the story remains to be seen, but there are a few potential sub-theories. The most extreme is that she'll be stuck in there, having been banished there back in the 90s during the events of her own upcoming movie. Then there's the idea that she'll know about the realm and will make the suggestion that Ant-Man heads in there in an attempt to change history. However, the most prominent theory is that she will be the one to venture into the Quantum Realm to use its power, or its ability to traverse time, so she can reverse the effects of Thanos' finger snap. Whether or not any of this comes true remains to be seen.
Does it make you an Avenger now as well?
I don't know, I hope. Maybe like a third string Avenger, yeah.
I was one of the founding members.
Leader of the Avengers. It's more than likely that Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to be the dawn of a new era in the franchise. The likes of Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, the Hulk, and Black Widow will probably either be dead, retired, or taking less prominent roles. And with that in mind, other characters will need to step up when it comes to keeping the Avengers going and keeping Earth safe. Given how powerful she's going to be, there's every chance Captain Marvel won't just be a part of the new Avengers team, she'll actually be the one to lead it, and we think that would be pretty cool. The theory is Carol Danvers will take charge of the likes of Spider-Man, Black Panther, Falcon, Bucky Barnes, and potentially some new faces as the MCU freshens up its roster and phases out the old guard. It would certainly be an incredibly refreshing change to see a female character as the figurehead of a superhero franchise.
And you wonder why you waited so long.
Of course, Marvel Studios are adding more and more awesome female characters to the MCU, but none of them have top billing as part of an ensemble yet. This scenario would certainly see that happening.
Back and forth between you guys and Sword, I have given you everything I've got.
A romance. In the comic books, Carol Danvers has had romantic relationships with a number of different characters over the years, some of which are too interesting to ignore on the big screen. And this theory suggests at least one of them will be depicted in the future of the MCU. One of those characters is Mar-Vell, who is otherwise known as Dr. Walter Lawson, and he'll be played by Jude Law in Captain Marvel's solo movie. Law's character is set to take the role of Danvers' mentor in the MCU, which probably rules out a romance between the two. And that movie takes place in the 90s anyways, meaning it isn't part of Danvers' future, which is what we're discussing here. Other characters she's been involved with include the psychiatrist Dr. Michael Barnett, CIA agent Michael Rossi, restaurant owner William Wagner, and even the villainous Hyperion in one timeline. The most interesting, however, was her romance with James Rhodes, which came when she was using the Captain Marvel name. Rhodey is, of course, played by the brilliant Don Cheadle in the MCU, and a relationship between him and Brie Larson's Danvers would certainly be intriguing.
Thank you for that.
In spite of the 25-year age difference between the two actors.
Hopefully you can save my life a lot more in the future.
She'll unleash her binary powers. Captain Marvel is incredibly powerful in the comic books, and as we've already touched upon in this video, she's set to be the most powerful hero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but she could become even more powerful if this theory is anything to go by. In the comics, she possesses super strength, speed and durability, flight, and potent energy projection and absorption capabilities, which is probably what she'll have in the MCU to begin with, but there'll be more to come.
Stay down.
Carol Danvers has used a number of names in addition to Captain Marvel over the years, including Warbird, Miss Marvel, and most pertinently for this particular point, Binary. As Binary, Danvers could tap the energy of a white hole, giving her full control and manipulation of stellar energies, and as a byproduct of that, complete control over heat, the electromagnetic spectrum, and gravity, as well as light speed travel and the ability to survive the vacuum of space. Should she tap into these powers in the MCU, Brie Larson's character could become more powerful than anything seen in the MCU to date, not just the heroes, and that would be a pretty amazing spectacle to witness on the big screen.
And that way, it might be really good.
Wow.
The Guardians of the Galaxy. In this year's Avengers Infinity War, several members of the Avengers met several members of the Guardians of the Galaxy for the first time. The team of space misfits stumbled upon Thor's body floating lifelessly among the wreckage of the Statesman, the ship first seen in 2017's Thor Ragnarok after Thanos and his children had ransacked it to obtain the Tesseract. Thor then spent the majority of the movie with Rocket and Groot before the trio headed to Earth to join the Avengers in their fight against the Mad Titans forces in Wakanda. It's more than likely there's an alliance between the teams that will last going forward in the MCU, and some characters could end up swapping teams. A prime candidate for a future role in the Guardians of the Galaxy is Captain Marvel, which has happened in the comics. She's a cosmic hero who spends a lot of time in space, so it makes a lot of sense that she would join the space-based team, and, in all fairness, they could really use some more power because they're lacking a true powerhouse.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with the walking thesaurus on that one.
Of course, she's still got to join the Avengers, so if this happens, it probably won't be for a few years.
Knock it off, both of you.
She'll create a new team. Like the previous theory of her potentially joining the Guardians of the Galaxy, this theory would take a few years to come to fruition, as she hasn't even joined the Avengers yet. But it's the theory that Captain Marvel will create a new team to lead in the MCU. Some of the other teams Carol Danvers has been a member of in the comics include A-Force, Alpha Flight, and the Starjammers, all of which would be exciting additions to the live-action franchise. With so many cosmic threats in the MCU of late, the universe could do with a few more heroic groups watching out for it. Sure, the Avengers keep tabs on Earth, and the Guardians of the Galaxy are always on the lookout for trouble in the cosmos, but the more teams backing them up, the better. Now, Carol Danvers is a born leader, but both of the Avengers and the Guardians have a number of characters capable of leading a team without her. Should she set up a live-action version of A-Force, Alpha Flight, or the Starjammers, for example, the MCU would be better equipped to deal with any given threats that occur at any given time. The Skrull secret invasion, the Annihilation Wave, or another villain getting their hands on the Infinity Gauntlet, for instance.
I don't know what to say.
The iconic costume. It was something of a disappointment for some fans when behind-the-scenes pictures were revealed from next year's Captain Marvel movie, because Brie Larson was wearing a green superhero costume as opposed to her comic book character's current and more iconic red and blue one. In the comics, green is strongly associated with the Kree, and the simplest explanation for Carol Danvers wearing a green outfit is that she snags it from a Kree soldier after gaining her powers. However, there's a theory, in fact in this case it's more of a bona fide certainty, that she'll don the famous red and blue one sooner rather than later in the MCU. When Nick Fury used his modified pager to send a distress call to Carol Danvers, the icon that appears on the device's display showed her star-shaped yellow insignia on a red and blue background. It may actually turn out that she's wearing red and blue by the time her 90s solo movie comes to an end. But since we can't be sure of that, we're happy to class this as a theory about Captain Marvel's future.
It'd be an honor. Thank you.
She'll get a trilogy. If the future importance of Captain Marvel to the Marvel Cinematic Universe is as huge as we think it's going to be, then this theory is certain to come true, and it's the theory that Brie Larson's character will get her own trilogy of movies in the franchise. The only characters to get trilogies in the MCU to date are the flagship male trio of Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. So a female character getting one would be a huge step forward in terms of diversifying the franchise. To date, all three of these existing trilogies have had their ups and downs. None of them have been consistently brilliant. 2008's Iron Man was great, with 2010's Iron Man 2 and 2013's Iron Man 3 failing to live up to their predecessor. 2011's Thor was passable, and 2013's Thor: The Dark World was forgettable. 2017's Thor: Ragnarok, however, was epic and hilarious. And 2011's Captain America: The First Avenger, while underrated, was underwhelming. 2014's Captain America: The Winter Soldier, however, was absolutely fantastic, and 2016's Captain America: Civil War was a fun, action-packed ensemble. Hopefully next year's Captain Marvel movie kicks off a flawless trilogy that puts those that came before it to shame.
Don't hurt the face, I'm an actor.
And that's the end of our video. Did you enjoy it? What do you think will happen in Captain Marvel's MCU future? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Screen Rant for more great videos like this one. Bye for now.